Hello and welcome to today's video. Today I'm in the city of Auckland and I'm sitting at Milford Beach on the North Shore. So Auckland is New Zealand's largest city, approximately 1.5 million people, and very built up, but still some beautiful beaches around to go to. And way in the distance over my shoulder is Rangitoto Island, which is one of the number of dormant volcanoes that the city is built on. And just a bit of symbology there, the dormant volcano. That's something I definitely was in my life, wanting to utilize my energy and not always doing so in the most opportune or optimum way, and finally got on the path, and here I am today, utilizing it to bring to you today's topic, which is going to be quotes. Just before I get on to quotes, I just want to talk about some stuff that's been happening just really within the last, well, literally 12 hours or so. So I talk a lot about synchronicity, and spirituality is really aligned with synchronicity. So people might say coincidences, but synchronicities are things that happen for a reason, or that one can take note of, one notices, that have meaning beyond perhaps just the surface. And I talk a lot about looking below the surface as well. So the need to be open to these things, to see them, and then to be open enough to perhaps think that there's a message to them below the surface, or there's a meaning behind them, or things are deeper than one might believe. Anyway, so a few things that have happened to me. Yesterday afternoon I went to a social event in the city of Hamilton, and I was speaking to a younger lady there, and we were speaking about cats, and we got onto the subject that one of my cats, who was 19 years old, his name was Klausy, he passed away in January 2025. He got cancer, so as I say, he got to the age of 19, and she had an older cat too that had died of cancer quite recently. Anyway, last evening as I slept, I had a particularly lucid dream. And the lucid dream was that Klausy reappeared. Now, this is not the first time he's reappeared, and in fact I have a story from my writing Return to the Light when I visited Peru in November 2025, where I saw Klausy. I won't go into that particular story because it's a little bit lengthy for this video, but it was just one of those moments that was just so spiritually in tune, and everything aligned, and I saw him. But anyway, last evening, lucid dreams, I have a lot of lucid dreams these days, he appeared. And I think my understanding of where animals go after they pass is they cross the rainbow bridge, as they say it, and they end up in a pet heaven. And when they're in pet heaven, they are at their optimum well-being and health. And last night Klausy appeared to me, and he was at his optimum health. There was no longer any pain from his cancers when he passed away. He was just bounding around, and he brought a message with him, and his message was to say thank you to me for all the care and cuddles that he got over the time. So just incredible lucid dream. I know it was coincidental with talking to someone about him, but and sort of tying into the fact that I'd done a video yesterday on reincarnation as well, so the afterlife. So there's number one, synchronicity, that just wanted to speak about. Number two was I was leaving the city of Hamilton to head towards Auckland. So Auckland's about approximately something like an hour and a half drive north. And on the way up I thought, oh okay, I think I'll also, in this journey, I'll go further north again to the city of Whangarei and Northland, which is a very lovely area, fairly remote in places, of New Zealand. And that brought back memories of the fact that the last time I was up in Whangarei, I had a very profound meeting with a lady on a beach. I have written about this in my writing, my most recent writing, which was to do with my mission and blue healing. And on meeting that lady, she really brought to me a key as to what my mission was. She didn't consciously bring me the key and tell me what my mission was, but out of that conversation everything flowed. So for the last period of time, somewhere around just over a month, I've been deeply immersed in a mission that has really got its major beginnings, or major prompt, I should say, in that particular meeting. So I thought about her, and I thought, oh, well, when I'm in Whangarei, I'm going to message her and catch up for a coffee. And I hadn't thought of her for a long time. I mean, you know, I can't remember, sort of a few weeks really. And anyway, drove on to Auckland, and when I got to Auckland, I was also decided to attend a market today, which was a spiritualism market. And I was just waiting to go in, so to speak, and I got a message, and the message was from her. So I got a Facebook message from her. It just turned up, and she said, "Oh look, sorry, I haven't been in touch for some time." And I went back and said, "You're kind of not going to believe this," although she is very open to these things. I said, "Less than an hour ago, I was distinctly thinking about you for a period of time, and how I was going to make contact with you very soon, that I was going to be up in Whangarei to catch up." So again, this is how it happens in the spiritual world. No such thing as coincidence, in my world anyway. And then the third thing I just wanted to briefly talk about, I went into the spiritual market, and there was a gentleman there doing Kirlian photography. And I'd read about that in the past, but I've never had my picture taken Kirlian photography, where the picture is said to capture the aura of the person or the body. And scientists are kind of pretty divided over that. Mainstream scientists sort of suggest that it's kind of a bit of hocus pocus, so to speak, and that you're capturing some of the condensation around the camera, and that what brings colours. But in the spiritual world, it's very strongly believed that it captures the aura. So I went in and had a session with this gentleman. He was also an intuitive healer, and so he laid his hands on my head. And one of the things that one does is put one's hand on a sensitivity pad, and that captures your energy. And he went back to his computer and the machine that captures the energy, and to take the photograph. And the first thing he sort of said to me, you've registered about a 9 out of 10 on your third eye intuition. And I said, I'm not surprised. As I've spoken a lot about the intuition, the third eye has really been my strength of recent times. Opening, activation, intuition, it's all been activated, and it's all happening for me. But as I'm more holistic, it takes literally a reading of all your auras. He talked about my crown chakra. He said that that's there for opening further. So some concentration on that. And furthermore, the actual reading is very extensive, and you get a report. It showed my whole body was effectively, for a start, my head was surrounded by indigo. So indigo, the third eye chakra, and violet colour, which is the crown chakra. And again, no surprise for me. I mean, I was actually kind of expecting that, and there it was. So, you know, scientists can say, oh yeah, well that's just something's happened there and you just got the right colours and all of that. My view of that is scientists are working from the ground up. They're working in the lower realms, the higher part of the lower realms, because these are pretty smart guys for the earthly plane. And they're working their way up towards finding answers and the source, ultimately, perhaps, of the meaning of life. And as I've spoken about in some of my prior videos, that's a tough way to do it, from the bottom up. The way that I have understood things in their, I won't say entirety, but in a very wide open perspective, with lots of eye-opening moments and understanding, is from the top down. So again, I have visited as close to the source as I have been so far, so the source being the eternal light, and from above everything is clear. So again, I'm going to have to side profoundly on the side of the spiritual aspect, that the Kirlian photography caught me right at this moment as to who I am spiritually. Just wondrous. I mean, when one gets into these things, the whole theory has disappeared of what Kirlian photography may have been, and now we're into the gnosis, the actual experiencing. Anyway, I'll just quickly go through some quotes. So I've got this blue book, and I reference this on my page, Living the Magic, so viviandolamahia.nz.com. And that's where my writings are, and I've had this blue book for a long time, since my early 20s, and I started jotting down insights and quotes and trying to live by them, and they all added up, as has all other things, into who I am today. And I just wanted to pull out some of the most significant or profound ones that jumped out at me today. I have quoted some other things in my prior videos and in my writings, but I'll just read through some of them. The first one is by Helen Keller. So Helen Keller, sort of early 1900s American writer, lost her sight and hearing at the age of 19 months, but well known for some of her writings. But one of her quotes was, "The best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt with the heart." So that's very profound. I mean, I talk about leading or living from the heart. So the people who have written these quotes, I mean, these are people who have had deep insights into life, whether it be through spiritual ascension or just an understanding of life from perhaps a different level than perhaps I had ever been at. The second quote I'll just read out when I quickly identify it is, this comes from a book called the Bhagavad Gita, and that is the writings, the Vedic writings of Indian culture, and in its writings relates to the roots of the Hindu faith, and Krishna being the supreme being. So the quote there is, "Nothing in the world purifies like spiritual wisdom." That is so true for me. I think it works a bit both ways. I mean, one has to purify oneself to be open to this wisdom of the universe. But when one perhaps attains the spiritual wisdom, and I really feel I have reached a very good level, not the ultimate level, but a very good level, I feel pure of heart, pure of life, peace, freedom, love, energy, light. So I'm going to go with that one being pretty true. The third one I have is, again from Helen Keller. "Security is mostly a superstition. It does not exist in nature, nor do children of men as a whole experience it. Avoiding danger is no safer in the long run than outright exposure. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing." So again, that's sort of to do with the risk one needs to take, or just get out there, get on the path, out of comfort zones. Comfort zones are very constraining, conditioning who we are in that ego sense, the ego who controls what we do in life. To me, the ego had to go, and it went, and now life is a daring adventure. So the fourth one that I've pulled out is, this is one that I got from a movie, nondescript movie a long time ago, but it's very significant. "Dying flying free is better than living in a cage." So that kind of follows on from what I was just saying, being constrained and in your comfort zones, safety and security. If that's where one is happy, and I used to be happy in that situation, or happy to the level I was happy. I certainly was nowhere near as happy as I am now, I can tell you that. But I was in that situation and scared, just taking steps outside of my what I knew. But dying flying free is better than living in a cage. I'm proof of that. And I'm not saying to anyone else to do it. I'm just saying I've found where the happiness is. And the last one comes from something. It's one that I kind of wrote up. I was watching a documentary some time ago, again many years ago, decades no doubt, and it was on about Buffy Sainte-Marie, and she was a Canadian Inuit singer-songwriter from the 60s and 70s, and some kind of well-known songs, and Elvis Presley has sung some of her songs, for example. But it was about her struggles and how she got to where she was, and it was just inspirational. And I thought of this quote for myself and I wrote it down, and it might sound a little bit biblical and might sound a little bit conceited, but I'll read it out anyway. "And you will know me by the road you see before me, created by the parting of the waves." And I really kind of didn't live that for a long time. It was just this theory, you know, that doctrine I talk about, the written thought. But now that's how I live my life. It's kind of like everything gets out of my way. Because I'm on a mission, I'm on a path, I'm backed by the universe. So if I'm backed by the universe, everything's really going to step aside, or everything that's not going to be conducive to my path is going to be pushed aside, whether it be by my light, by my energy, by my aura. So I'm kind of very happy that I kept all those quotes, because there are a lot of times where I just kind of wondered, well, I kept them and what were they doing for me? And they were doing like everything else that I've done. They were adding up, compounding to make me into the holistic being that I am today. So again, I hope that those have just brought you a little bit of light. I've listed all those quotes on my webpage, the viviendolamahia.nz.com, and my writings there. I've got these videos out daily, and I thank you for your time. As always, I hope that you enjoy the journey. We will meet when we should, and namaste.